Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon you and God blessing. Hopefully, this material could be an enrichment for us, especially in science and intercultural understanding between Indonesia and Korea. Hello everyone, my name is Hadi. I am science teacher from Indonesia. I teach science in Alumni Junior High School. After we learn about the heritage clothes, it's time to us to elaborate them into science. That's why today we are going to learn about Batik making experience, the magic of acid-base indicator, phenolphthalein 1%. Let's take a look at the next slide. Before we start, I would like to tell you what is our goal from these sessions. Now, we are to implement global citizen education in chemistry class. There are two goals that we will reach. The first one, encourage students to strengthen their culture as their identity by sharing their cultural understanding as a global citizen through science creativity. And then the second one is to gain knowledge and skill with fun science experiment based on the curriculum and to bring change in the science teaching learning in the classroom. So what are we waiting for? Let's move to the next slide. Okay, here I want you to know how to make batik traditional with chanting. There are three processes to make batik in a traditional way. The first one, design process. What is the design process? The outline of the pattern is blocked out onto the clothes traditionally with charcoal or graphite. After you make your own design process, and then next to the next step, waxing step. What is waxing step? Usually, a worker or female sit on the low stool or on a mat to apply the wax with a chanting. The first wax is applied over the pencil in outline of the pattern. After the waxing process, we continue to dyeing process. Or you can use 2 until 3 times for dyeing process. After the initial wax has been applied, the fabric is ready for the first dyeing bed. You can do until the finish 2 until 3 times dyeing clothes. And after all, the wax has been removed. So this is the simple way to make a batik with the traditional way, use chanting. So what happens if we use chemical property? In this session, you can see when art meets science, what it looks like. Come on, let us see. We will use natrium hydroxide, or we call it sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is a highly caustic substance that is used to neutralize acid and make sodium salts. And then it is also consists of an ionic component that's from the sodium cation, or we can say natrium plus and the hydroxide as an anion. And this also is used to manufacture, to make a soaps, to paper, explosive, dye stuff, and petroleum product. And the natrium hydroxide also a colorless liquid, more than the water. If you contact, may severely irritate your skin, and then your eyes, and sometimes make mucous membrane. And then This is the special one, why we use phenolphthalein 1%. The people know that phenolphthalein is often used as an indicator acid-base titration, or we call it universal indicator. For this application, it turns colorless into acid solutions and pink in the basic solution. And don't forget, it is also used in the chemistry classes for the study of the reaction kinetic. So, what will we use for a media and the material? First, we will use white paper, but in this session we use the filter paper like this. Okay. And then next we use spray bottle. Yeah, this is not too big, it's enough. Yeah. This is for phenolphthalein. We filled it with phenolphthalein 1% inside the sprayer bottle. And then we use little brush, this one. Yeah, we use little brush. And then we use glass beaker. This is glass beaker. Yeah, this is to fill natrium hydroxide. And then we use base liquid, natrium hydroxide. And then the last one we use phenolphthalein 1%. Okay, I want you to see the video for the detailed information. Now, after you watch the video, we will do an experiment.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. 안녕하세요. 저는 Hadi입니다. Indonesia 사람입니다. Hello everyone. How are you? Wishing everyone healthy and safe during this pandemic. We hope this pandemic gonna be over. I'm Hadi. I was Indonesia-Korean exchange alumni in 2018. I work in Media Junior High School, Depok, West Java. Today, I want to demonstrate a simple experiment about how to make Indonesian batik patterns using chemical property. And the title is Batik Making Experience, the Magic of Acid-Base Indicator with Phenolphthalein. Okay, now I would like to tell you the goals from these sessions. Now we are to implement GCED in chemistry classes. There are two goals that we will reach. First, is to encourage students to strengthen their culture as their identities by sharing their cultural understanding as a global citizen through science creativity. And the second one is to gain knowledge and skill with fun science experiment based on the curriculum to bring change in teaching and learning in the classroom. Before we start, let's do the lesson rules. First, we wear a leg coat. And 2, use face mask. And 3, we use hand gloves. Now we have media and material for this experiment. This one is white paper. Next, spray bottle. Next we have small brush. Next we have Baker glass. And we use natrium hydroxide. And the last one, we use acid-base indicator phenolphthalein 1%. Those materials are simple and safe to use, also easy to get. And now it's time for us to do the experiments. First, we will draw the pattern smoothly on the white paper given with a pencil to make a pattern design. First, we draw a pattern like a cloud. Okay, next we will use this natrium hydroxide and pour it into bigger glass carefully. Yeah. And now time to draw with little brush. Okay. Just like this. And then just follow the patterns. Don't make it too wet, but do it. Yeah. This. And then this. Okay. After finishing this pattern, we wait until a half minute. Okay, make sure that the pattern that we draw already getting dry, and then next we spray it with phenolphthalein 1% or 100 milliliters. Yeah. Yeah, you can spray from 30 centimeters is externally, and then directly spray like this. Yeah, I think that's enough. Yeah, you can see the different color from the colorless turning into pink. So it means that this condition in base conditions. Now it's time to make conclusion from this experiment that we are done. The pattern on the paper has changed from colorless into pink, and then the drop of this will provide a slick excess of hydroxide ions and the phenolphthalein into its ion and turn the solution pink at pH of level 8.2, and it will be continued to a bright magenta if the pH is more than 10. That's all that I can share for these sessions. Now try your pattern with your own traditional cloth. Try to find your pattern and make it with this acid-base indicator with phenolphthalein, and don't forget to share with us. I hope everything that you have learned will make the students more enthusiastic to learn science and strengthen their culture as their identities by sharing their cultural understanding as global citizens through science creativity. See you again. 감사합니다. 안녕 higeseyo. 만나서 반갑습니다. Thank you APCEIU and see you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, before we start the experiment, we have to know the lab safety rules first. There are, first, we have to follow the instruction. Next, we have to dress appropriately. First, we will wear a facial mask. And then we use gloves to protect our hand from the liquid. Make sure we use all of things appropriately. And then number 3, understand with hazard symbols. You have to know which one is toxic, you have to know which one is oxider or corrosive, and etc. And then number 4, we have to know the location of emergency and the safety equipment. So you have to know where it becomes emergent, and then you can save yourself and to make it a better place. And then handle glassware carefully. And the last one is you have to be attentive. Okay. Now it's time to do the experiment. We will use filter paper. Yeah, this is, and we will draw it with pencil. Okay, make sure you already have the pattern. This is the mega mendung pattern, and then try to draw carefully with pencil and follow the line. You can make your own style, but make sure the cloth is sharp. Yeah. This is up to you. If you want to add more than 1, 2, 3, as long as the patterns it shows the mega mendung pattern. Okay, this is the first step. You make the pattern using pencil. Okay, next we move to the next slide. Now, in the reality, in the making batik process, we can use chanting like this, and then you can give a liquid over here, but it is only for fabric material because we use this session with paper. So we use a small brush, yeah, to make it easily to draw. Yeah. Now it's time to make a thick layer using natrium hydroxide and using this little brush. Then you can put it over here with natrium hydroxide, and then slowly to make it layer, to make it thick. Okay. This is the pattern that we make a thick layer using natrium hydroxide. Yeah, you can see this is the more deep from natrium hydroxide. And then we are going to the next step is to give phenolphthalein. We use phenolphthalein 1% in this paper that you already take with natrium hydroxide. Yeah. See, you can spray directly from the 30 centimeters, just like this, carefully, and then look what will happen and the changing color. So this is the pattern of batik that we have made using phenolphthalein 1% and natrium hydroxide. Okay, you can see the condition from the paper that changes, the changing from colorless into pink. Yeah, we can put here until it make it dry. Okay. Now, this is what we done. The first one, natrium solution. We make sketching pattern with pencil and natrium hydroxide, and then spraying pattern with phenolphthalein 1%, and then a changing color from colorless into pink. Okay. Now, it's time to make a conclusion. So, what we can learn from the activity, from the experiment that we have done. The first one, the pattern on the paper has changed from colorless into pink. This one from colorless into pink. Okay. It means the sodium hydroxide solution has been added to react with all of the hydrogen ions. And then the next drop of base will provide a slight excess of hydroxide ions and phenolphthalein into its ion and turn the solution into pink at pH level of 8.2, and it will continue to a bright magenta at pH at 10 and above. Okay, you can see this is the conditions before and after, and this is the reactions from the NaOH or natrium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide, and then from the colorless into pink solution. Okay, I think that's all that I can share for these sessions. Now, I want you to draw your pattern with your heritage clothes and try to find it. Make it with phenolphthalein 1%, and don't forget to share with us. And this is, I hope that everything we have learned, the students would be more enthusiastic to learn science and to strengthen their culture as their identity by sharing their cultural understanding as a global citizen through science creativity. Thank you very much and see you again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.